Hey everybody, I'm Chris Slay, your shop local guy, and welcome back to All Things Local STL TV. I'm glad you stopped by. We are coming to you from the incredible Outreach Studios located right here in Richmond Heights, Missouri, and I can't wait for you to see today's show. First up, we're going to meet Dan Raskas of Baked Tees, a local t-shirt printing shop located on the Del Mar Loop, as he shares how they help their customers express their creativity through apparel and accessory designs. And if you are looking for an e-commerce shop for your creations, you're going to want to stay tuned. In the second half, we're going to meet Velma Bailey, the president and CEO of the local nonprofit organization St. Louis Torchbearers 2, as she shares with us how they help children in the St. Louis community to develop into our leaders of tomorrow while viewing the world as a classroom. I'm excited to share about these two incredible St. Louisans. Stay tuned, Dan Raskas is coming right up. Have you ever wanted to create your own custom t-shirts, hoodies, or accessory items with your own original artwork? Maybe you need apparel for your team or a special event, like a wedding party or a family gathering. Well, there's a local shop on the historic Del Mar Loop called Baked Tees that can help you get the items that you need quickly and cost efficiently. And we have the president of Baked Tees, Dan Raskas, here today to share more. Welcome, Dan.
Thanks, Chris. Thanks for having me.
I'm excited to have you here. I love telling people's origin stories, so tell us, why Baked Tees?
Sure. So it's interesting. My wife has always wanted to own her own business.
Yes.
And she's always been coming up with ideas. Hey, what do you think about this? What do you think about this? And one weekend she had a girls' trip, went up to Chicago, saw a place that was doing custom t-shirts.
Okay.
And came back and she's like, hey, what do you think about this? And I'm like, maybe. So we dug into it and we came up with Baked Tees. It turned out a little bit different than what she had originally planned. She was thinking, you know, the old style 70s t-shirt shops. You pick the transfer you want, put it on the shirt. And as we got into it, we found all kinds of technology that would allow us to print designs that are custom made in the store for the customer, as opposed to them having to pick from something that's pre-made.
Yeah, and you guys do it amazingly well. It's super efficient the way that you handle all of that. And I think one of the things that you shared with me is you just absolutely love serving your customers.
Absolutely.
Tell us more about that.
Yeah, so you know, that's actually one of the reasons we picked the Loop as a location, is because there's a great diversity of people. Yeah. We get to hear all kinds of stories, you know, learn about our customers and, you know, what they're about. And we have most of our customers keep coming back, so that's good. And we kind of get to know them on a personal level. And it's just great. You know, the people in St. Louis are great. People that are visiting, you know, they'll come to the Loop and stop in. Oh, yeah. And we just have enjoyable conversations and discussions with them and learn about them. Awesome.
Awesome. Well, I know you said, hey, you offer a lot of services, and there's so much we can go into. But we can't get too technical and in the weeds. But what are some of the services that you provide for your customers?
Yeah. So we have a storefront in the Loop, as you had mentioned, and in the store we offer it's called direct-to-garment printing. There's direct-to-film printing. There's sublimate. There's lots of different technologies that we can do, and the beauty of those technologies is what it allows us to do is produce one item for a customer. So if all they want is one thing, we can do it. If they need something, 100 things for a big, huge family reunion, we can do that too. Right. And in the store, what we pride ourselves in is most of our staff are designers that we've taught how to print t-shirts, not people that we teach how to design. So there's a big difference in what you get. So the process is somebody comes in, they meet with one of our designers, they tell the designer, here's what I'm looking for. And right in front of the customer, the designer will go to work and start producing their design, and then it comes to life, and then it gets on a shirt that same day for the most part.
Well, I was able to experience that, and I thought it was an incredible process because I did see my idea come to fruition right before my eyes with your designer, and then within 30 minutes, I had it in my hands.
Right. And then, so in addition to the brick front, or the brick and mortar side, we also have a full-blown online store where people can go if they have their own designs or they're their own designer, they can upload their designs, put it on a shirt, and they can either have it shipped anywhere in the world or they can come by the store and pick it up. Our turnaround is very quick. And so those are all the, what I would call retail side of the business. We also have a wholesale side of the business.
Okay.
And so what that is it uses the online store technology, and it's meant for small businesses, organizations, moms that are in charge of the PTA, looking to fundraise. We take all of the hassles of managing the ordering out of their hands, and we control it, and people can come to their store. It's no cost to have a online store with us. It's fairly simple to create, and it just works. So right now we have over 1,000 stores that we are hosting, and again, no cost, and it's a great way to stay organized. If you're a organization that's looking to sell some things, if you're looking to raise money, it's a great place to fundraise.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Well, there's silly transition. Ready? There's my baked tees bag, and inside is one of our swag items created by the team at Baked Tees. And one of the beautiful things about this was that I was able to create my own e-commerce store. And I know there's a lot of people that want e-commerce stores, but they think they have to go out of town to do that.
Right.
And we've got a company just like yours right here locally that doesn't
Absolutely.
charge them a monthly fee to have their store up and running. And you'll even help them and walk through it with them to make sure they have it up and running properly.
Correct. Yeah. Yeah. That's, we, like you had said earlier, we enjoy working with our customers, and that extends to the business customers as well. We do whatever we can to, get them up and running and everything the way they want it to be, as it's their face to their customers or
fabulous.
Donors or whatever.
I think it was one of the easiest things I've done in a long time.
That's great.
With just the drag and drop and the click and change. Super easy to set up my store, even setting up the payment options and all those different things, super easy. And I really appreciate the way that you just go about making that free as far as the monthly cost. Now, obviously they pay for the cost of materials.
Correct.
But that monthly cost saves a ton of money for those people that want their own e-commerce store.
Right.
Awesome, awesome. Now, Dan, share a brief story about how your organization has impacted others.
Okay, so one that comes to mind is we had a young lady who was a member of a U.S. deaf soccer team.
Yes.
They were in the process, they were invited to a tournament out of the country. They were responsible, each person on the team was responsible for raising money to pay for their own travel, accommodations, etc. And so she came in with an idea saying, hey, I want to make some shirts with my name and number on the back, and then have my family buy them, and then I can make some money off of that. Well, we transitioned that and said, well, what if we did an online store for you? Because then all your friends and family, not just locally, but anywhere. Can buy that. So we did that for her. Word spread within the team, and eventually we had every member of the team had their own shirt, and they were able to raise the funds to make the trip to the tournament. So
that's amazing.
It was really good. Yeah, it was fun.
That is absolutely awesome, and thank you for helping that come to reality.
Yeah,
for
it
those players.
It was our pleasure. Yeah,
it's beautiful. Dan, what do you love about St. Louis, man? So
St. Louis, I think the people. I can't say enough about the people. I was born and raised here, and it's just a great town. It's a great place to raise a family. People are kind. They want to help others, and they're very good at supporting local. I mean, we support local. We bought our printers, our inks, everything was bought from local companies.
I saw that. Yeah.
So I think there's a sense or a pride of community in St. Louis that extends, into small businesses like ours.
Perfect, perfect. Well, I can't thank you enough for being here. I love your shop. I love being in there. The energy's high. Great. Every person I've interacted with was amazing.
Well, I appreciate that.
I think that,
we do
I
our
want you
best.
to know that.
Yeah.
So thank you so much for what you're providing here in St. Louis and to all of our neighbors.
Thank you.
Awesome. No matter what design you have in mind, the team of professionals over at Baked Tees can help you get those custom apparel items with their quick and simple process. And if you're inclined to set up your own e-commerce store, you can have your designs set up through them. This local shop has a super cost-efficient way to get you up and running while shopping local at the same time. You can check out baked tees today at our directory website, getlocalstl.com, at allthingslocalstl.com, and just search bake. We're going to be right back after this short break, so stick around. Thanks, buddy.
Thank you.
Reach your audience with Outreach Studios. Studio 17 offers 1,000 square feet of customizable space that can accommodate roundtable discussions, podcasts, live stream content, and much more. For a different look, we offer View 17. This one-of-a-kind event center is fully wired for broadcast and is perfect for corporate or commercial content. With Outreach Studios, the opportunities are endless. Elevate your message, your brand, and your expectations with Outreach Studios.
Welcome back, everyone. Since 2012, our next guest, Velma Bailey, the president and CEO of St. Louis Torchbearers 2, a local nonprofit organization, has been serving the children and families of St. Louis City with a wide array of services. And these services are designed to help build these children into the future leaders of our community, as well as provide them the ability to see the world as a classroom, where they can develop cognitively, physically, emotionally, socially, and spiritually. Today, Velma is going to share more about this amazing organization that has served hundreds of children over the years and how we might be able to get involved as well. Welcome, Velma.
Well, thank you so much. We appreciate being here today.
I'm so excited to have you. I'm totally impressed with all of the things that Torchbearers 2 does. And I was hoping you would share with my audience what was the inspiration behind your organization.
Well, what prompted us to start the organization is I live in the same neighborhood with the children that I served.
Yes.
And I taught school in the St. Louis Public School District for 26 years. One day I came home and a boy in our neighborhood got shot getting off his school bus.
Oh.
Then later he was pronounced dead.
I'm sorry, Velma.
Thank you. Well, some of us got together and we started thinking, what can we do? And then that Margaret Mead quote came into our mind, you know, that a small group of people could really do some great things.
Yes.
So we started a 3-week back-to-school safety camp.
Okay.
And that was going to be our one big effort to give back to the children, you know, and help right all the wrongs. Well, here we are 11 years later, and the camp has grown from a 3-week camp to a 10-week camp.
Impressive.
We serve more than 500 children, and we're in our local park teaching our kids about outdoor education, outdoor recreation, and sustainability, and just trying to teach them how to take their neighborhood back and be leaders in it.
Yeah, I love it. Absolutely love it. Why is it so important to have programs such as yours for the kids?
Well, especially for our children, we live in an area that's a food desert, and the children face serious transportation challenges when they're trying to access any kind of educational services outside of our neighborhood.
Right.
We live in the zip codes with the highest incidences of the most violent crimes, and there are very few positive, consistent role models for the children for them to be able to develop paradigms that will help them be successful.
Gotcha. Gotcha. So let's talk about the different programs that you actually provide, because I know it's a big list.
Well, you know, the list keeps growing and growing. It's almost like the field of dreams. And
If you build it.
they will come. And God has really called us up from the Farm Club to be able to help children, but He's also helped us organize these children so the region can take care of them.
I love it.
So we started with the summer day camp, and that's been going on. And we started out with 7 Bibles and some space in the park. We were sitting on the grass and working with children, helping them access the swimming pool and a few field trips. So now we have more than 30 field trips that the children go on in 50 days.
Wow.
And they're all over the region. They're up at the Art Museum, at the History Museum, the Arch. We have classes at the Science Center, 4 STEM classes, and that's just the beginning. We go cave exploring up in Merrimack State Park.
Yep.
We go down to Quiver River Park. I mean, so many state parks. The Missouri Department of Conservation helps us. And with all of that, we have instructors, people who are certified in the different areas, and we have the best equipment, and we want to thank everybody in this region that pays taxes, and even the international visitors that come, because a lot of the services that we access come from government services like the Missouri State Parks, or they come from local businesses or the benevolence of just individuals who come out and give their time and sow their talents into these children.
Oh, it's beautiful. I love the fact that you say the world is a classroom.
It is, and it is so wonderful because sometimes we go places like people don't really realize that once we go to the Arch, we're in an international venue.
Right.
And the children hear people speaking different languages, and sometimes we get a chance to help people when they speak a little bit of English. And I always try to let the children try to, give service because that will help them grow, and they're planting seeds too. The same thing at the Science Center. It was kind of interesting because the children, there was an incident at the Science Center, and then the local police came, and then there were police that came from the park ranger system, and they couldn't understand the jurisdiction, so there you go. There's another whole lesson involved.
Right. The kids are always learning.
They're always learning, and I really thank God, too, because this is my opportunity to live my second childhood. I get a chance to plan things and get people involved as if I were a benefactor as a child myself.
Well, you absolutely 100% light up a room, but you also light up so much more when you talk about Torchbearers, and I love it.
Well, it's just an opportunity for me to be able to serve God and for him to pick me out of all these people to do this work. Sometimes it's hard, but out of adversity, we build hope, we build strength and tenacity. And I get a chance to let the region know what the children need because some people are really wanting to help.
Yes.
Their parents and people, CEOs of major corporations, they're busy. But when we ask people, they respond. They reciprocate with services, and some of them are really happy that we stopped them from their busy world to be able to help. We just got a grant, and we had some issues financially, and our financial institution congratulated us on accessing the grant and bringing money to the region and providing services for children, and they were like, what can we do to help you? So, we don't have a back office. We're a grassroots organization.
Yep.
All of us have been volunteering for the last 11 years.
Exactly.
So services like that are invaluable to us.
Well, 100% volunteer, right?
Right.
And how can people, I think you've shared a few things, but I really want to key on this. How can we all just help get involved for you?
Well, the greatest asset we have is volunteer service.
Yes.
So we would like people to either email us or call us. Our email address is info@torchbearers2.org, and our phone number is 314-502-9122.
9122.
Yes, and they can just volunteer with us. We're in Fairground Park all the time. So that's a great place to catch us.
Perfect.
But we like for people to know that even if we don't have an area that they have a skill in, that we're open because of the grassroots nature of our organization. We're flexible enough. The dinosaur tail doesn't have to turn around, before the dinosaur can move.
There you go.
And there are so many things that the children need to get background, foundational information about to be able to build this paradigm for their life so they can be successful.
Perfect. Perfect. All right. Briefly tell me about a success story that you've seen for one of your students.
Well, one of the things that happened for us is that our children, because we're in the park and we're located adjacent to the pool, we get a chance to swim every day.
Right.
So some of the kids were like poo-pooing, they didn't want to go swimming, and the girls are talking about their hair. And then we had this really intuitive lifeguard. He said, well, you're 13 now. In a couple of years, you can get a job making $15 an hour.
Brilliant.
So now we got instant buy-in, right? So he had the lifeguard started training some of the older children just like they were going to be a lifeguard. And, they were junior lifeguards.
I love that.
And one day a boy got distressed. He was 10, and this 13-year-old, she jumps in the pool like she's a lifeguard. And she starts practicing the skills that they taught her. She was trying to pull him out, by holding him under his neck, and that didn't happen. So she grabbed him under both arms, and she was scissor kicking him out of there, and everybody's screaming and calling her name. And I'm like, somebody get that kid out of there. My insurance. She gets him out, and she's called, her nickname is Lifeguard. She's shaking her head. Then the police, we've had a great relationship with them over the last 8 years. Yeah. She got the Do the Right Thing Award, bringing her family down at the baseball game with prime seating. Just having
something
a
she'll
time.
never forget.
And the children will always remember it.
Exactly.
She was their lifeguard.
All right. Velma, you're amazing, and I love your stories. What's something you love about St. Louis?
The one thing I love about St. Louis is that there's such a diversity of services here, and there are so many resources. Because the St. Louis region is so benevolent, and so well equipped to help children and people. We don't have to charge fees for our camp.
Exactly.
We use Metro to go on a lot of our field trips. Out of the 30 or so field trips that we plan, we do at least 25 on Metro. So the kids know how to recreate any experience that we have in this community on their own. We try to teach them to trade a soda and a bag of hot fries for bus fare, and they can go to Forest Park, to all the venues we go to. So many people have been benevolent. The Art Museum, the History Museum, they double up on volunteers and instructors. They told me, don't ever keep the children away, to let them know what we need, and they'll help provide.
You gotta love that. That's the St. Louis way.
It is, and I am glad we're part of it.
Well, I am too, and I love what you're doing for these kids. I cannot thank you enough for pouring your heart into them and into our community and building our future leaders. I really appreciate you.
Well, thank you. We're building leaders today to serve today.
Excellent. To learn more about St. Louis Torchbearers 2 and see how you can get involved, simply go to our directory, getlocalstl.com, and search Torchbearers. We'll be right back to wrap things up.
Oh, thank you.
I want to thank my guests, Dan Raskas of Baked Teas and Velma Bailey of St. Louis Torchbearers 2 for being with us here today. You can learn all about them both by going to allthingslocalstl.com. There you're going to learn about the Shop Local and Support Local revolution, as well as see all the incredible St. Louis-based businesses and nonprofit organizations that we feature right here on All Things Local STL TV. So check out our website today, allthingslocalstl.com. Also, please follow us on social media as we share about the positive and incredible people, businesses, and organizations that make the St. Louis area so special. Our tag is simple, All Things Local STL. And while you're there on social media, please share to help us share these stories so together we can all be a part of the Shop Local and Support Local revolution. And of course, I have to thank the amazing team here at Outreach Studios for their support in bringing this show to you. You can find both Outreach Studios and their event space, View 17, one of the most spectacular venues in the whole town, at allthingslocalstl.com as well. And finally, I want to thank you for tuning in. We look forward to having you join us for future episodes where you can learn more about all things local. Until next time, please be kind to one another and keep loving local. Bye, everyone.